Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there and names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, so let's talk about the 15% rule, right? A lot of people talk about the 15% rule. I'm going to shout out Dave Ramsey for this. Also going to shout out Graham Stephan. They've both talked about the 15% rule, and what that really just means is that when you have a job, you are taking 15% of your income and you're investing it into the stock market. This is really going to be helpful for you in more ways than one, because it is going to essentially limit how much you spend on other things. So for example, every time I start a different job, I personally put 14% of my income directly into my Roth IRA. No matter what additional employer's match or company match I'm receiving. So how does that look for me is on day one, I'm receiving a check that is not 100%, right? Because from day one, I've already decided that I'm going to invest in my Roth IRA and 401k. So before I even receive my first check, I've already got accustomed to less money because I've never had a full check to begin with. With that being said, I'm then able to start to budget my life around the money that I'm already receiving. So when I do savings and other forms of investments, that is with the understanding that the 15% has already been put away, and I wasn't even aware of when that happened, because that transaction takes place every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the company that you're with. Now, I'm going to give you all the reasons why this is beneficial for you, and then all the reasons where it may harm you. All right, so starting with the benefits. The benefit of putting money away right away is that, especially when you start a new job, is that you never really see the loss in income. If you're seeing $1,000 in your account, you're going to feel it more when you're only seeing $750 in your account every couple of weeks. And the reason for that is because you've already grown accustomed to seeing that $1,000. So now it almost feels like not only are you making less, but it feels like you're working harder for less, because you're not seeing that same amount of money hit your account. Which is why a lot of companies tend to increase your 401ks and Roth IRAs by 1% per year, because it doesn't seem as though it affects you as much. And most people don't even know that they're investing in their 401k until they either leave a company and then they have to make a decision on the money that's sitting in there, right? Because once you know about it, it gets harder and harder for you to not touch it unless you're a disciplined investor like myself and many others. So with that being said, it's always best to do it right away, because that's going to limit the amount of money that you are spending on things that are really not that important. We all know that people are consumers, and the more money they have, the more money they'll spend, right? And so me knowing, hey, I have X amount of dollars, it is so easy for me to say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to spend money because I just have so much in abundance. Now, one negative of investing right away into your 401k or Roth IRA is that if you have debt, that money could be used to pay off the debt. The problem that I've seen with most people, however, is that they don't necessarily just go out and pay off their debt. They'll do everything else except pay off their debt, because they don't necessarily see the value in paying off their debt. They don't see the value in paying for something that they've already acquired, right? And so they'll do everything in their power to use that money for something right now in the moment, that they can feel some pleasure in and that they can feel some gratification in, but it doesn't necessarily benefit them in the long run or to paint a financially good picture for their life. They're aware of it, but will they change it? Possibly not until they are forced to do so. And so, when it comes to the 15% rule, it can be good, it can be bad. Now, the only bad thing is if you already have negatives in your life affecting you negatively, right? That 15% of income could be used to offset that and pay that off, right? People use money for the wrong reasons a lot of the time. So, for example, I had someone say, hey, I want to use my 401k to buy a car that they did not need before, right? You were getting to your job, you were getting around without a vehicle, and now that you know that you have this money in your 401k, you just have to use it to buy a vehicle. That is not necessary, right? If you were able to live without the vehicle before, you can continue to do so until you can save up for the vehicle with other means. But the fact that you knew you did not have money in your 401k before, you did not need the vehicle at the time, right? But now that you know about your money in your 401k, you're like, oh my goodness, I have $5,000, I have $10,000 that I would not have saved had the company not just taken out money from my account without me knowing. And so what then happens is you're like, how do I spend this $10,000 that I probably wouldn't have had if I was the only steward of my money? And you come to the conclusion that you just need that car right now, but you weren't able to save up for it under normal circumstances. So again, it shows the lack of discipline, it shows the lack of responsibility, and it shows that, when you have a good thing, sometimes you look short-sighted and you don't look long-term. So I like the 15% rule, especially because it helps people who are already doing good things to be even better, to be in a better financial situation, to paint a better financial picture for their life. And overall, it really does support people in becoming a millionaire. We talked about how you can become a millionaire at 37. The average person becomes a millionaire at 37 years of age, and it is not without investing into their 401k and Roth IRA for the average American. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.